The video that I'm presenting to you guys today is something that I feel like is desperately needed in our community in 2024. You see, in the last month, I've released a series of videos that have saved you guys from spending thousands of dollars on felonious schemes when it comes to credit repair. And the reaction that I've received from my people has been astonishing. I've been told everything from why are you worried about what another man is doing to why you trying to stop a black man's hustle to you're clearly just a broke ass hater. Now, while I've received a lot of negative information, I've also received a lot of positive feedback. So I'm grateful for that. And that's what I do it for. But for those of you who are out there who simply cannot wrap your brains around what is necessary for our community in this day and age, I want you to watch this video from Anton Daniels. Now, Anton is a good friend of mine, and we have had several conversations in the past about credit, the credit repair industry, how people use credit. And he is basically a staunch opponent of the use of credit and how we've decided to use it in 2024. And I respect his opinion on it. He respects my opinion on it as well. And we can agree to disagree when it comes to that particular topic. But what we never disagree on is bringing full-fledged accountability to our people. Now, I don't care if you look like me or you don't. If you're doing something that's amazing, I'm going to give you credit and praise you for it. If you're doing something that's wrong, I'm going to bring your ass to the front of the congregation. Now, there aren't very many people that can articulate information like Anton can. So instead of paraphrasing it and reshooting the content that he already produced, I'm going to give it to you uncut. I am not going to interrupt this video. We are going to sit here and watch this together. But before we get into this video, I want to give a shout out to 3 special beasters who have managed to raise their credit scores exponentially using my Dispute Beast platform. First, we have Paul, who's managed to raise his credit score almost 400 points in 4 months. Up next is Isenia, who's raised her credit score over 400 points in 4 months by using Dispute Beast. Now she can just get that utilization down a little bit, it'll go even higher. And last but certainly not least is Sean, who despite having high utilization still managed to raise his credit score over 400 points in just 2 months using Dispute Beast. If you guys need help with your credit and you want to do it yourself and you want to do it for next to nothing, head over to beastdiy.com and give us a try today.
You have to do the thing that is in your best interest and take the information that's being given to you no matter what the vessel looks like. If it is a person that can help you, then leverage their expertise. Rich people, most of them that I've ever met, and rich people are not a monolith the same way that black people are not a monolith. Rich people are very, very, very nice, and they are giving, but they don't want to be criticized, or they don't want to be made the villain for helping people, especially when their time is valuable, so that they then charge for it because they want to create a barrier to entry to people that's really serious about what it is that they don't. Rich people are very giving. They are very helpful. They want you to be successful because they've already made it, and in most instances, they understand the blueprint in order for you to get there. And I'm not talking about people that sold dope in the community and got rich. I'm not talking about people that did it negatively. I'm talking about people that genuinely have a good heart, and they want to do things that's best for society. You're always going to find bad apples in the bunch, and it's not all rich people, but in a general sense, most people that have resources are killed as a result of trying to help other people get them too. There's no faster way to find a villain than a person that's trying to give you information to do what's best for you for free. There's no faster way to find a villain than a person that is giving you information for free. Those are the ones that you hate the most. You will sit there and criticize their outfit, their nails, their sexuality, their gender, whether they old, young, can speak to your specific demographic of people, and they giving you information for free and you don't even know. And so you sit there and you criticize and you call them gatekeepers, but then when they open the gate, you criticize the gate that they opening for you. You don't like the doorway, you don't like the gate, you don't like the house, you don't like the way in which they talk to you. They should. I ain't never seen a group of people sit here and criticize the way that they get the information instead of leveraging the fact that they got the information in order to utilize it to become successful. It's not that the information is gate kept. You can read any book. The principles are universal. Anybody that's ever read David Goggins, anybody that's ever read Jordan Peterson's 12 Rules for Life, anybody that's ever read A Random Walk Down Wall Street, shit, you can go and get Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Does he speak to the black community, or is his principles universal also? You can go and get any book, any financial book, and you can, financial, life lessons, style, whatever, and you can leverage the information in order to get yourself out of a negative situation. I see people literally giving the same principles across the internet, The same principles, they're translating it in order to make it more appealing for you, so it's not like paint drying, in order to get you interested in financial literacy, and you still walk away from it, you still criticize it, you still don't have nothing to say about it. Listen, I watched EYL, and a lot of people may not care for him, but some people do. But I watched EYL present to you and put in front of you a billionaire, a black billionaire. He also put in front of you white billionaires. He gave you the opportunity to network with each other. And you know what I seen? I seen everybody that went to InvestFest outside of Erica Williams, because I had Erica Williams right over there on my couch, sitting there talking to me about it. And she was like, it was a great opportunity for people to network, get information. You could pick and choose which people you wanted to hear speak and so on and so forth. I watched everybody that had something to do with InvestFest think that they was going to give them a magic pill in order for them to get rich tomorrow. No, you source the information, you network effectively, you can still go on the internet, you ain't even got to go to the library anymore in order to get the information that you need in order to be successful. What more do you want from people than giving you an opportunity to do the thing that's in your own best interest? You want them to force feed you, you want them to give you the meat, you're not even ready for the meat, you still on baby food. What more do you want from them? What more do you want from them? So you have an opportunity, and you can choose whether you wanted to go to InvestFest or not. But then you criticize them for putting you in a room with the people, and then also curating an environment that is black from people that look like you, because that's the thing that you were complaining about the most. You got vendors, you got speakers. What else do you want? What else do you want? But then if somebody say, okay, nah, we don't want you here, this is the audience that we curating it for, then you're going to say that they need a race diversity and an equity and inclusion committee in order to get more black people interested in it. I watch Wall Street Trapper every Tuesday. Shout out to Wall Street Trapper. I don't know him personally, but I've seen this show. I've seen Wall Street Trapper every Tuesday go live, which is one of the reasons I don't even go live on Tuesday, because I want people to actually tune into the Wall Street Trapper. I watch the Wall Street Trapper go live every Tuesday, and he's literally breaking down the individual stocks on a basic level that you can understand it and speaking to it in your language for you to be able to leverage that information, and he don't even get the type of live stream that he's supposed to be getting on a regular basis. I go live every morning on the Millionaire Morning Show, and I curate content every day in order to be able to not only get you through your day, but also give you the information, the financial nuggets, and then we mine out, and I allow for you guys to be able to come up here on Friday and have a conversation with me personally, and every week you do the same thing. You disappear, and you're nowhere to be found. I see so many different people giving, even Richard Fain. Me and Richard Fain had a fundamental disagreement when it came to how we market ourselves, or, you know, one specific subject or whatever like that. And I criticized the hypocrisy based off of a conversation that we were having, but I'd be absolutely disingenuous to tell you that the majority of the information that Richard Fain is giving you is not good information. He's a good source. He, in a general sense, at a very basic level, in a language that you can understand, is communicating to you effectively of how it is that you need to be moving in a financial sense. Now, we may disagree about the method, or we may disagree about whether or not you should pay off your home or not, but these are good conversations to have, and I am not going to diss him. Anthony O'Neill is literally a student of Dave Ramsey, emphasizing, communicating, and having a conversation with you about how he leveraged the information from Dave Ramsey, coming from a less than stellar environment, in order to get himself out of debt and then put himself in a position to be successful. And he's giving you the information every single day, and you guys criticize him for it. I don't care for Anthony O'Neill's take as far as relationships, but that don't have nothing to do with whether or not he understands finances and business, how to market yourself effectively, and then how to use money as a tool in order to continue to make you successful. So many great content creators, bigger pockets. Listen, your algorithm is curated with sexy red light content. Your algorithm does not have the same thing that we have in our algorithm, because we're actively seeking the information in order to leverage it so that we can continue to become more successful and align ourselves with people that are going to give you the information to be successful. I got my dog Will Motivation. Will Motivation renovates houses, buys, sells, is in the tech industry. He probably gonna either come on Friday, or he gonna come on Monday, and we gonna have a conversation, and I want to get his thoughts. We are curating, and we are actively working on a regular level, on a regular basis, to give you the information in order to be successful. And you sit here and you whine and you complain, and the only thing I hear people do is criticize the way people look, whether or not they like the way they talk to them, how they gonna say it, what neighborhood they live in, what kind of car they drive. Okay, so then they get the trinkets, then they get the cars, then they get the clothes, then they show you the bank accounts, and it's still not enough. What is the language that black people want in order for them to communicate with you about how you need to be doing the thing that's in your own best interest? What do you want them to say? How do you want them to do it? They took down your favorite heroes. Y'all used to reference all of the rappers and Diddy and Jay-Z and all of them in order to try to substantiate your argument about how you ain't need to cut your hair and how you can still listen to hip-hop and all of this other type of stuff. And then Diddy had to come to the front of the congregation all last week, and now y'all turned against him too. So who are your heroes? Who are the people that can give you the information, if not the very ones that write the books, if not the very ones that capitalize off of it and then use the information in order to become successful? Who do you want? Who do you want? Who do you want? Who is worthy to speak to your broke ass? Who hitherto there is worthy enough to be able to have a conversation with you about whether or not you need to get your finances together and why you need to stop having so many kids, and maybe you should be less of a consumer in order to continue to build assets so that you can eventually use the information in order to become more successful and have your assets pay for your lifestyle, so you're not broke as fuck depending on Social Security and disability in order to survive once you get 70 years old. Whoeth thereth goeth is worthieth enough to speak to the brokest community of people in the United States of America about how it is that they need to get their life together financially. Whoeth goeth thereth? I'm just curious. Whoeth thereth? Circumstantialith, why areth you speaking to us as though you can speak to our ills within our community? I ain't never seen so many broke people have an opinion about how they get information. I'm not Dave. Man, I be like, who the fuck is you, nigga? What, you think you could talk to me? See, I turn up on you niggas. See, I'm not Trap. Trap is going to be nice. Trap speak to the ladies. He's very careful about his words. Richard Fain is older, so he's not really built for combat like that. Dave Ramsey, he's an older white guy, and he's trying to raise his people in a Christian way. See, I'm a different type of motherfucker. You're not going to sit here and say nothing to me unless you're worthy of speaking to me. And if you don't like the way that I'm giving it, to get your ass up out of there and go talk to somebody else that's willing to deal with your nonsense. See, I believe the rod of correction is needed right along with the information that you need in order to... See, I believe in driving the devil out before we can start having a conversation about your financial literacy. That's what really needs to happen. I think we need to pull our belts off. This is how I believe in teaching. Oh, your kid bad in school? Your kid don't want to listen because they've been too focused on what's going on with Sexy Red, huh? See, before we used to get taught, they had to make sure that they drove the devil out so that they had our full attention when it was time to start teaching. Yeah, before we got to school, they made sure that they made the devil go far away from thee. Before they start having oh boy, we was paying attention. We was paying attention. Before we start having a conversation about financial literacy, we gonna drive the devil far from thee. I come from a different era. Trap come from a different space. Rich come from a different space. Anthony O'Neill come from a different space. A lot of people come from a different space, but I come from Detroit, Michigan, where if you said something out of line and I find out that your teacher had a tough time dealing with you, we gonna have some furniture moving in this bitch and put your motherfucking hands on the bed, and if you move, you getting another lick. That's where I come from. And when we went to school the next day, we was focused. Because the teachers didn't have to sit there and figure out what's wrong at home because they already knew that they had the support of the parents, and we gonna have a conversation in this bitch. Sorry for the church. I'm sorry to the church and the daycares that's watching this. Sitting here negotiating with a bunch of broke people on whether or not you need to listen to the information in order to level up. What the fuck is you? Man, if you don't go and get a... That's why it needs to be balanced. Everybody can't do it the same way. Everybody can't have a conversation with y'all the same way. Trap gonna give it to you one way, I'm gonna give it to you that other way. You may need a whooping before we start to get into the financial conversation, because you're gonna have to get your character together before we start having a conversation about whether or not you can leverage this information, because you're just gonna become a monster.
So I'm gonna go ahead and end the video right there. It's pretty much at the end anyway. But I want you to tell me, is there any falsity in what he's saying? What I'm realizing is that somewhere along the way, us, the black community, was told that can't nobody tell us shit. If we want to scam, we gonna scam. If we want to sell drugs, we gonna sell drugs. If we want to have multiple baby daddies, we're gonna have multiple baby daddies, and ain't nothing wrong with none of it. If y'all not paying attention, Walmart is leaving our communities, Target is leaving our communities, Kmart that went utterly bankrupt. We are losing the resources because people have had enough. We'll know Lil Pookie done stole a TV from Walmart, done hung it up inside our house in his room, and we won't tell a soul about it. But then we want to get mad when the institutions that are losing billions of dollars want to leave our community. We know for a fact that Navy Federal is being scammed by our community out of hundreds of millions of dollars. And our excuse is, well, the banking system itself is a scam. But then when they increase interest rates and make it very, very difficult for those who are worthy of the actual legitimate funds, then we want to act like we're being done wrong. Anton has an amazing point. This video is 11 months old. I don't even know how it came across my algorithm today. But I was going through my comments last night and I was in utter disbelief at the amount of people that think that I'm in the wrong for bringing the scammers to the forefront. Tell me what the hell is going on here. So if I, a person who has legitimately earned my living, live in a paid off house in Southern California, I only drive a 2019 Nissan Armada. My wife got a Model Y Tesla that's on lease through my company. I mean, if I'm not qualified, been married for 15 years, got 2 beautiful children, I coach my son's team, I ain't scammed a person in this lifetime. If I'm not qualified, but this dingy eyeball, dirty dreadhead, greasy faced dude out here that's scamming you out of $600 at a time for a FaceTime call gets the support. When I spend my hard earned time and money, not only building, but doing the research for free to make a disputing platform that will help you address the negative items on your credit report, and I'm not charging you a single dime as long as you have credit monitoring, which is what you need anyway. If I'm the bad guy, what's really going on here? If I'm in the wrong here, if the information that I'm offering you is not of substance, if the information that I'm offering you is not of legitimacy, then you'll take me. But when I'm bringing you something that has been produced in a way that follows the guidelines, allows you to use it legally where you don't have to be looking over your shoulder, and it gets you the results, and I show proof, and it costs next to damn nothing, if that's not of value to you, then you let me know. I hope you enjoyed this video because I thoroughly thought it was needed, and I left it uninterrupted so that we can get this unfiltered ass whooping that we so greatly need in our community. For those of you who have been supporting me, I appreciate you, because I know you can go anywhere on the internet to get this content, but you're here with me. Y'all be blessed.